In the headlines, amidst biting impact on businesses, organized labor suspends strike by 5 days. Price of Irish potatoes skyrockets amid scarcity of produce in Jos. 1 dead, 30 others trapped as mining pit collapses in Niger State. On the foreign scene, fires burn in northern Israel after Hezbollah rocket attacks. Good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust Television at this hour. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us on the news, and now the news in detail. Organized labor, comprising the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress, has suspended their strike for 5 days. A leader of the NLC said this in Abuja. The centers are expected to issue a statement shortly before the commencement of negotiations with the government. Reports say that after a 6-hour meeting with the leadership of organized labor in Abuja, the federal government expressed the commitment of President Bola Tinubu to raise 60,000 offered as the minimum wage. Following the suspension of its nationwide strike, cold room operators in Kaduna State are recounting their experience from the total blackout across the country. The power supply cut had a negative impact on business operations as most rely on the national grid for energy. Trustee Bella Musa has more on this story.
Butchers, drinks and fruit sellers deposit their meat, yogurt and the likes here for preservation. Though the strike has been suspended for 5 days, the operators are recounting their losses. To be honest, we found ourselves in a difficult situation. This is the third time we are experiencing power cut due to strike. Whenever it happens, we lose our meat product due to spoilage. When the strike entered its second day, they had to shut down the cold room. In the morning, we call our clients to come collect their beef meat and chicken so that it will not go bad. Though they have a standby generator that can serve the cold room, they can't afford operating on generator for longer hours due to high energy cost. Today, I bought a liter of diesel at the rate of 1,230 naira. If we are to use generator for the cold room, in a day, we will spend 100,000 naira on diesel in particular. They are appealing to the government and the organized labor to have a fruitful negotiations within the next 5 days for the betterment of not only their members, but Nigerians in general. Bella Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
The price of Irish potatoes has skyrocketed as a bag of 50 kg sells for 120,000 naira at Yandoya Market, located in Jos North local government area of Plateau State. The state is one of the areas that produces potatoes in commercial quantities and supply to neighboring countries such as Niger, Cameroon, Chad, among others. However, this year, the commodity is scarce, even in the producing state. Adam Musa completes the story.
In contrast to previous times when the market consistently attracted buyers from both within and outside the state, the market currently appears dry. Although the commodity can still be found in the market, sellers complain of poor patronage as buyers are deterred by the hike in price. Victoria Bulus is a potato dealer in the market. She explained the current price of the commodity in Jos.
In fact, I used to go to villages and buy the potatoes and bring it from the bush market, from the farmers direct, and bring it down here to Yandoya Market and distribute it to the people that used to put it inside rubber pen and sell it. And so this year, this period particularly, the price of Irish shoot up. Before we used to sell this bag, the highest price during Ramadan period, we sold this same bag at the rate of 45, highest price 47 selected. And the size was even bigger than this size you are seeing here. But now for this time, right now, the price of Irish have shoot up. Now this one bag now that you are seeing here, the whole bag here, I brought 11 bags yesterday in the night, and so I was able to sell this Irish all. That one finished. I sold at a rate of 118,000.
What are the causes of the sudden price hike of the commodity?
The causes why the Irish is a bit high is because of the fertilizer and this crisis that happened some months back in Bokos, Mongo, and some local government. That's why the Irish is a bit up now.
One of the reasons is that things are very costly in the country. So what we are witnessing today is the multiplier effect of the inflation in the country. The situation is also affecting potato. The traders also suggest what can be done to salvage the situation.
The solution is only one. Hadn't been the government will happen to the farmers, they will drop a bit the cost of fertilizer and some farm tools will pay that things will be okay.
If government will intervene by subsidizing fertilizer and other farming inputs, definitely a lot of farmers will go back to the farm and the price will also go down. But if you cultivate without getting money to purchase fertilizer, everything will become useless. Prices of goods and services increase day by day, with buyers and sellers decry the situation, calling on the federal government to rescue the crisis. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And to a sad development, at least one person has been reported dead. 7 others severely injured following the collapsing of the mining pit in Galadima, Kogo, Shiroro local government area of Niger State. Reports say 30 other miners, including the site manager Alhaji Ibrahim Ishaku, were being trapped in the pit. The Director General, Niger State Emergency Management Agency, General of the agency, Alhaji Abdullahi Baba'ara, confirmed the incident, saying that the pit fell due to rainfall that softened the soil. He said the mining site belonged to African Minerals and Logistics Limited. In politics, the Independent National Electoral Commission has assured residents and all stakeholders that the next governorship election in the state would be free, fair and credible. INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state, Mutiu Agboke, in a chat with Trust TV in Osogbo, said the commission has been developing strategies to curb all forms of electoral fraud during the 2026 governorship election in the state. He appealed to political parties to educate their supporters and followers to shun acts that may undermine the integrity of the electoral process.
Our political parties need education and re-education. We need to let them know that electioneering process is not just about election period. Before the election, there is need for all of them to engage their members, to engage their supporters, to talk about against vote buying, to talk against violence, to let them know that the only person that will win an election is the one that is acceptable by the people. So political education for the political parties is very, very important. Not only that, all our other stakeholders, the media must be engaged. INEC activities and the activities of the stakeholder must be reported correctly. And when we are reporting it, we must report some of those threats that are bedeviling the conduct of election. The major ones are violence, vote buying. Violence, vote buying. People must be told that the era of, destroying, the strength of an opponent to gain advantage has gone. Campaign to people and people will give you their mandate.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission said it has extended voters' registration for Edo and Ondo states. respectively, following a review meeting held with stakeholders. Registration was earlier slated to end on the 5th of June 2024 in the two states. A statement by the Commission said following appeals by stakeholders, the date has been extended from Thursday 6th to Sunday 9th June 2024 to allow more eligible persons to register. The Commission similarly extended the duration of the exercise from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. The Commission said the exercise is progressing in the two states. It added that the majority of the 82,003 registered voters, representing 68.8%, are youth between the ages of 18 to 34 years. The Adamawa state government has successfully airlifted over 1,700 pilgrims with its inaugural flight to the Holy Land for this year's Hajj exercise. In this report, Sharif Al-Hassan reports that all the 1,708 Adamawa pilgrims have arrived Medina ahead of the Hajj rituals in Makkah.
Adamawa State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Commission began the 2024 Hajj operation on the 1st of June 2024 to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri secured a befitting hotel in Yola, which serves as their transit camp before the airlift. The chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, Alhaji Jalal Ahmad Arabi, and his top management were in Yola to flag off the inaugural flights. While in Yola, the chairman paid a courtesy call on the SSG, Barrister Awal Tukur, before an on-the-spot assessment visit to the State Pilgrims Welfare Commission headquarters, the Lamidos Palace, and finally to the transit camp. The chairman seems satisfied and overwhelmed with the arrangement made so far by Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri, while calling on other states to copy from the Adamawa model of Hajj operations.
Beyond expression, I wasn't surprised with what we saw. Like I said, at different fora, we knew the headship and the management we're working with when it comes to preparations for Hajj in Adamawa State, and we're never disappointed. All those things that have been outlined based on the timeline we received from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to what we had discussed at various stakeholder fora with the state executives, none has been violated. They've been done and followed all through, to the extent that we will implore others to copy from what Adamawa has done in terms of organization and the success of the process.
Batch by batch, the fresh air buses conveyed the pilgrims to the airport tarmac for boarding, having gone through different security checks. The smiles on their faces shows how joyous they are to embark on this most important journey in Islam.
1,708 Adamawa pilgrims have been airlifted from here, Yola International Airport, to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for this year's Hajj pilgrimage. Most of them will be landing in Medina and some will be landing in Jeddah, depending on where the aircraft have been given slots to land.
The 1,708 Adamawa pilgrims who have arrived in Medina are to stay for 4 days, visiting major Islamic landmarks as enshrined in the Holy Quran and the Sunnah, before heading to Mecca, the hub of the pilgrimage. From Medina, Sharif Al-Hassan, Trust TV News.
You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Still ahead. Amidst biting economic challenges, health experts warn against neglecting routine medical checks. We'll bring you insights and details of this story and more after the break. Don't go away. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust Television. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Amidst biting impact on businesses, organized labor suspends strike by 5 days. Price of Irish potatoes skyrockets amid scarcity of produce in Jos. To more stories and to a sad development, 3 persons have died following a tanker that exploded in the Obiri-Ikwere flyover along the east-west road in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, on Tuesday. The incident, which occurred in the early hours of Tuesday morning, involved a tanker carrying what is believed to be liquefied natural gas, which fell over, crushed a vehicle and exploded while trying to navigate the roundabout. Confirming the incident in a telephone conversation, the police public relations officer, Grace Eringe Koko, said the victims were burnt beyond recognition when the tanker fell on the vehicle they were commuting in. She said the fire has been put out, but the area is still dangerous because the gas is still leaking. So, motorists are advised to take alternative routes to avoid any further casualty. The impact of the explosion was felt kilometers away, as some of the residents said their windows were smashed while others reported feeling the vibrations. At press time, men of the fire service were trying to put out the inferno while a crowd of onlookers gathered around with heavy security presence also observed. Observed was mild drama when a suspected scavenger who tried to steal parts of the truck was apprehended by the crowd, who handed him over to the police. This latest explosion is coming a month after a similar tanker explosion occurred along the LMA axis of the same east-west road, which claimed 4 lives and destroyed over 60 vehicles. As Nigerians continue to grapple with economic hardship, a silent but dangerous trend is emerging, signposting a connection between the prevailing economic conditions with declining public health. A spike in cases of stroke and other ailments have been connected to the current economic slowdown in the country. Sumaya Abubakar has more on this.
A silent threat that is gaining ground in Nigeria is stroke caused by high blood pressure. According to the Nigerian Heart Foundation, the prevalence of hypertension in Nigeria is about 38.1% of the estimated population of 200 million Nigerians, which shows that 76.2 million citizens are hypertensive, with worrying increase in stroke cases, particularly among younger adults in Nigeria between the age of 30 and 79, which it described as very high. Experts links this rise to the nation's current economic downturn and the hidden health threat of high blood pressure. Dr. Brian and pharmacist Joy, both health experts, explain the dangers of high BP in the society.
So affording those basic needs, sleeping well, having a good job, it brings about rest of mind. So the economy has a big role to play. If you ask me, I do agree that the economy has a big role to play.
Especially recently in Nigeria, yes. People have to think a lot of things, work, money, increase in everything. So yes, stress.
While some Nigerians check their blood pressure on a regular basis, others remain intentionally unaware as more cases emerge within the younger demographic.
I was meant to understand that it's an heredity or something of that nature. But on me, I check mine twice a month.
I normally heard about BP, but I don't know, because I guess I don't feel anything like that is disturbing me, so I don't know.
Early detection of high blood pressure is crucial as experts call for regular checkups.
In Nigeria, we tend to assume that everything is fine and we don't even want to check out our problems. So it's very, very important to know your status of your health. When you know the status of your health, it helps you to find a solution to it, and it helps you to know the common things you're supposed to do, even to prevent it.
Some pharmacies in Nigeria offer free or low-cost BP checks as their corporate social responsibility to encourage people stay in touch with their health regardless of the financial implications.
Putting this free charge, right, has really improved the rate at which people check, because before you hardly see people check, even making suggestion about itself. They have already countered the effect that no, but since it's free, they just assume it's free, nothing, it will take nothing. So I think it has really improved the services.
As the economic hardship bites harder, Nigerians call on the government to help put the right policies in place to ease the life of the masses.
The government should consider us, we the youth, because we are not finding it easy. And the way the country is going now is not in any way like favoring us.
With the increase of hypertension cases among youth, there is an emphasis on the importance of taking health care seriously with regular exercise and good diet.
A lot of people don't exercise. They don't, but they'll tell you, my office is on the 5th floor. It's not the same thing as exercise. You know, good health comes from the brain. Mental health goes a long way for good health, you know.
High blood pressure is a serious health concern, and economic hardship can worsen the risk. Sumaya Abubakar, Trust TV, Abuja.
We'll take it away from Nigeria now. Firefighters early Tuesday battled blazes across northern Israel as they continued to rage after being sparked the day before by rockets and drones that Hezbollah launched from Lebanon. Most had been brought under control by the morning. The Israel Fire and Rescue Services said overnight that over 30 firefighting crews were working to extinguish the fires, which led to the closure of several major roads in Galilee area. A statement from the fire department stressed there was no threat to lives or homes at the time, while adding that it was working hard to protect communities and property. And in sports, the atmosphere around the camp of African vice champions Nigeria has livened up even more as 5 players who were initially stranded in 2 different parts of the country as a result of the nationwide strike were ferried into Uyo on Tuesday morning. Defenders Shemi Ajayi, Bright Oshai Samuel and Calvin Bassi, alongside midfielder Frank Onyeka and forward Paul Onauchu, landed at the Victor Atta International Airport, Uyo, just after noon aboard a private jet arranged by the Nigeria Football Federation and were driven to the team's Ibom Hotel and Resorts to meet up with teammates in time for lunch. The arrival of the quintet brought the tally of players in camp to 20, 3 days to the Day 3 qualifying battle with the Bafana at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in the Akwa Ibom capital. And that concludes the news update on Trust Television at this hour. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for your time. Join us again.